Bay 13 is now available for loading. I repeat, Bay 13 now available for loading.
What's up, everybody? Happy no, what is it? Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Tuesday. Not used to doing Tuesdays anymore. Hi! Give me a second here. My music is blasting out my ears. Alright. Happy Tuesday. I got a new mic stand, so this is... I had to order another part for it because it doesn't pivot. The microphone doesn't pivot, so like it's stuck in this position, so I can only move it this way. Which was kind of a bummer, but it's alright. New parts coming in tomorrow. Okay. So, happy Tuesday. I'm going to be continuing work on the Interceptor, and there's quite a bit left to do, so it's gonna be fun. But I hope you're all having a wonderful week so far. Hope it's not been too stressful or anything like that. And I'm thinking what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Thank you, Saya. How are you doing? It's for sure getting there. I'm not ready for the panel cutouts and everything, but it's at least coming together. Everything's kind of matching up the way I wanted it to, so that's good. But I appreciate that. All right, so I do know that I need... This is where it gets a little confusing, because, like, I'm tempted... Let me see. Bit of a stressful day, but I'm surviving. Well, I'm glad you're surviving. How about you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Not too bad. I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start color coding some stuff. So let's do this. Assign new material. Let's do a... This is something I don't normally do, but it's kind of something that I wanted to do. Ship body. Let's see. So existing material, ship body. Why is that not... Oh, is it doing that weird thing again? No. Why is... Oh, that's why. Okay, my bad. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Okay. What's up, Gotham? How are you? So yeah, I'm sorry that you had such a stressful day. Hopefully that gets better for you. That's definitely never fun. Okay, so that's better. I think that's the issue that I'm having here is I'm having a hard time, like, separating pieces. So I for sure have this top piece, but there's another... So I want to shape this. So this actually needs to be... We need to do a little bit of work here. There's only stress. Good to catch you modeling again. What's up, man? How you doing, Tamuzu? Life is stress. That is 100% true. Especially when you're in school. Let's see. I think also this needs to kind of come in a bit. A little bit of reshaping that needs to be done. That's immediately better. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is just delete this chunk here. Thank you. Why is my delete key not working? That's kind of weird. Let's see, incremental save. Let's see. First time catching a stream, been enjoying the TikToks. Thanks for uploading. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm glad. It's so rare to get somebody on here from TikTok, so that's super cool. I'm glad the tips help. I feel like the conversion rate of people like jumping from TikTok to YouTube or Twitch is pretty low, so that's kind of cool. Pretty happy about that, not gonna lie. All right, so that is a little bit wonky. Not like that at all. Hey, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch, so yeah. It'll be a good place to find me when TikTok inevitably gets shut down. Let's see, that white thing, wait. That white thing after switching from a single view to 4 views from me is there. I thought I got a problem in Maya after seeing that thing is coming from your... Oh, you're talking about the fact that it like flashes like that? No, I mean, that's just the software trying to catch up. No, it's not a big issue at all. a bunch of assets to make for a group project, but I have a few days before handing it off to try to sneak in some ARM project. That's rough. That's cool though. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Are you doing so? Walk me through how you're modeling your assets. Are you modeling them in Blender, or are you doing them in Maya? What are they forcing your hand to do? That feels a lot better now that I got the color scheme on there. That's much nicer. Much nicer. All right. And guys, as always, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to ask. I do not mind. Okay, so I'm looking at this panel. So it needs to go... This is like a single chunk, isn't it? It is a single chunk. Okay, well that's going to be fun. So let's do this. Oops. There we go. I need to make a script that just auto-centers things to worlds so I don't have to do this like stupid grouping thing that I've been doing. Let's see. How to assign separate materials for model parts, which is easy to find in Substance for texturing. So the easiest way to do that is honestly just go in. So like if I was going to do it for this, just go assign new material and just do a Lambert and then change the color. The biggest thing that's going to be really important when you're doing that is you need to make sure that you're changing the names so you can keep track of what you're working on. Okay, so let's do this bottom piece, which is a solid chunk, and then there's definitely like a panel that goes through that. Okay, cool. All our projects based in Maya, so your usual project set, folder management, etc. Trying to simulate working in team setups to help everything in Maya, but I'll model some parts in ZBrush if they're perfectly okay, that's cool. Nice. Yeah, I've actually found, weirdly enough, like, I used to be really against using the whole folder setup, and the project management stuff is so much better when you just use the default configurations, because it makes changing files over to other people just so much faster. Oh, I'm glad to see I'm not the only one who uses groups for a quick center pivot. First time catching your stream tutorials has been super helpful. Thank you. Yeah, I do it all the time, and I was just thinking about it. I think I'm going to write a script to fix that issue, because there really should be like a just default to center point in the world, but there isn't, and I don't know why. I'll just throw it up on my custom shelf, which continues to grow. I keep adding new stuff to this one, so most of them are just like renaming tools. Okay. What's up, Diego? How are you? What's up, Zach? How you doing, man? Good to see you. I can barely hear my music. Oh, that's why. How's it going, Zach? A teacher instantly deducts points if we forget to set our projects properly. Solid learning curve. Yeah, no, that's awesome to actually learn that early on, because, like, I didn't really know it was a thing. when I was in school because I never had a teacher that actually told us to do that. Yeah, it's for sure a good habit to be in. Let's see, we're gonna go symmetry. Yeah, sure, that kind of worked. And we'll just block the shape out first, and we'll add some edge loops. But I want this to tip right here. Uh-huh. This is where symmetry comes in such handy. Alright, doing pretty good. Working on my creature, specifically scales. Nice, very cool. It's great for project sharing until someone leaves all the history live and overwrites the cloud save. Ask me how I know. What happened? That sounds terrible. For sculpting, we can use the base model, and after that we can add details in ZBrush, like modeling the base layer. And yeah, no, absolutely. It's kind of a... Sometimes it's a standard process. Like, it really depends, right? Like, if you're a character artist, you're probably just going to start everything in ZBrush. It's just... Efficiency-wise, it's probably going to be better unless you're starting with, like, a base mesh. But if you're talking about, like, say you're making a prop and you want to model it in Maya or Blender first, like, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, I'm actually working on a new micro project where I'm doing that, so that'll be fun. Because I just don't have enough projects on my plate. I'm just so not full of projects right now. Oh, shoot, hold on. I forgot to start my timer thing. Naboo Interceptor. Clock in. We're doing the Naboo Interceptor today. I have already surpassed the amount of time that I spent on 3D last year, this year. So I'm super stoked about that, and we're only like halfway through. Did you already UV map the ship? No, I always do my UV mapping when I am done modeling in Rhizome. So I have not UV mapped this at all. And we're still technically blocking right now, so like there would be no reason to UV map this because there's going to be so much more work that has to be done to this. Because like I did my basic block, and now I'm doing kind of like a cleaner, more advanced shaping and blocking. Just generally how I do it. Okay, so this kind of... Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, just want to make sure that's flowing properly. This is the first time I've built a model like this, so it's a little weird to be doing it this way. I've been seeing a lot of people on Instagram recently doing plasticity. Any of you guys playing with plasticity? I'm not going to be using it, but I do find it interesting that more people are using it. Let's do that differently. I think about it, looks great for clean forms. Pair up with ZBrush for retopo and it looks solid. Yeah, that's the thing. I think if like you can like skip the retopo part with like ZBrush or something, or remesh in Blender. I'm really interested to see if Maya releases something topology-wise that kind of replaces the old retopology system, because it would be nice to have like a remesh. Still learning to walk in ZBrush maybe after that. No, I totally get that. I'm actually really happy that I just bit the bullet and bought Substance Painter on Steam, because I have way too many freaking software subscriptions, man. Like, yeah, it sucked to dunk $200 at once, but I don't have to do that again, which is really nice. I wish I could do that with ZBrush, honestly, but it's like, what, $400? That's too much, man. Too much. Plus, you don't own it at that point. Like, at least Substance, now I own it. At least 2025. Till Adobe decides to pull some sort of garbage, which I fully anticipate that they will do eventually. They provide you guys with educational versions of your software, though, right, Tumuzu, in school? God, I would hope so. Although you can get it with a student ID anyway. You should still have up to ZBrush 2022 from school if you still have access to it. From what I remember, we got the full version when... Really? God, if I could remember my logins. I don't know if I have access to my school email anymore. 2022. Would that make sense? Because I graduated in 15. I'd be okay with that. You can contact them to get it? Oh, interesting. I might have to do that. That would be nice. I don't mind paying for Maya each year, because like that's my main software, but like, God, ZBrush, man, I'm like, I don't use it enough to warrant the $60 a month that it costs. We were on student licenses? Oh, okay, good. I don't know. It would be nice if ZBrush offered an indie version. That is one thing that I can give Autodesk massive credit for, is they do offer an indie version now. They rolled out the updates that were free up until that year. Granted, who knows if the Pixelogic site still works. They used to have perpetual. Yeah. I wonder, I might have to play with that. I might have to do a little bit of digging, because I don't like paying for it. I'm not the biggest fan. Hold on. Okay. Add one there just to kind of fill that guy in. Should at least, yeah, kind of. Let's do a. edge slide. Do some more panel matching a little bit later, but that's pretty good. Not bad, not bad. Okay, let's see what we got here. Cool, cool. Let's see. Let's see. Could do the student license with your school credentials. That's the thing, is my school credentials are gone. I've got my old ID. Yeah, I don't know. That and like, I don't know. I need to figure something out because it's expensive. Like, I look at like my main subscriptions and ZBrush is just the one that's like big chunk. Okay. Sweet. Now we gotta do the cone, which that has a much steeper kind of scoop to it, so let's fix that first. Okay, that's fine. So I do have this pinch, which I don't necessarily want, because I do need this kind of carrying through, but now I have this like new pinch that's going on, so might have to kind of work on that and clean that out, but that's okay, not a big deal. At what point do you take a cheap community college credit to remain a student? I've thought about that too, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, I don't know, maybe I should just reach out to ZBrush and be like, hey, do you want to sponsor something and like give me a license? I doubt they would, but it'd be worth a shot. I could do like a sponsored video. Hard surface modeling idiot learn ZBrush or something. Honestly, I'm much better at it than I thought, or than I was. So like I'm pretty happy about that. But at the same time, like I do have much more to learn. Okay, so we're a little thick. I'd put a watermark on my car if they asked. That's fair. Instead of what would you do for a Klondike bar, it's what would you do for a ZBrush subscription. I'm gonna just back that off. I don't want that. I do want the bottom. Okay, we've got way too much information going on here, so let's clean this up a little bit. I do need that pinch there, but I'm gonna work it into the body here. So what we're gonna do So we're gonna target weld and target weld. Same thing over here. That's new. Why is that? Oh, I didn't, JK. Okay, hold on. What happened here? Alright, so that's terrible. Turn that into a quad. Should be fine on this edge. My delete key is not working today, and that's a tad bit concerning. Okay. Still getting a lot of like ribbing down here, so. Okay. It's like there's no winning. Okay. Leave that for now. Let's see. Would watch that, but definitely waiting on you getting the hard surface side of things in ZBrush, though my wrist is killing me after polishing panels. Are you using a drawing tablet? Or are you using, like a mouse keyboard? Tried to use ZBrush my first semester, and my TA said it was the worst retopo he's ever seen. Oh, that's a bummer. Was it good?
It's pretty good.
Ooh. Super good. All right. Yeah, that's rough. Well, and retopology's rough too. Like, I have not even played with retopology in ZBrush yet. I've been too afraid to like break from the process and do my thing. But at some point I will. Part of me gets to that point and I'm like, oh no, I'll just go ahead and manually retopologize it for no reason. It's a toxic trait. It's a good habit to be in though, because like I tried to tell people, like, you know, learn the hard way first before you do the automated way. Z remesher, I use both. Tablet is about the size of a beer coaster. Oh no. I didn't think it would change my life as much as it did, but getting a pen tablet was the best decision I ever made. Like, for sure changed the game for me. Do not regret that purchase. Are you on a Kindle? There's a YouTube video, how to turn a Kindle into a drawing tablet. I wonder if you could do that. Probably not. I was actually trying to figure out a couple weeks ago how to jailbreak the Kindle. I found a way to do it, and then Amazon blocked it immediately. And I was like, oh, awesome. Cool. Much appreciated, Bezos. The Kindle will continue to gather dust. Okay, cool. That looks like shit. All right. Let's see. Recently asked quotation for PC build. They sent quotation too, but they recommended 5060 with 8 gigs of RAM, 32 gigabytes of RAM, but it's not upgradable in future. Will it be okay with that kind of specs? Why is it not upgradable? That doesn't make sense. It should be upgradable, especially if it's a 5060. What they're probably doing is limiting your power supply, so they're probably saying that you can't upgrade it because, you know, you'll be drawing too much power. But yes, you will be able to upgrade that. As long as it's a desktop PC, you'll be able to upgrade that. And that's a good starter PC. There's nothing wrong with that. Just be aware, once you start moving into the realm of like really high definition textures, that 5060 will run out of memory quick. Yeah, because generally when you do like pre-built computers like that, the PCs, when they say they're not upgradable, they'll basically throttle your power supply, so they'll give you a really like low-end PSU, which is very annoying. But you can get around that by just upgrading your power supply. Oh wait, the motherboard version is not upgradable, and the RAM type is DDR4. Well, yeah, I mean that makes sense. The motherboard you're not gonna be able to really upgrade unless you swap everything. You might be able to get away with like a single chip upgrade if you're doing like a Ryzen CPU. Those are usually a little bit more upgradable, but yeah. Let's see. Used Quad Draw for a bit a while back, and then just switched to doing manual retopo and ZBrush. Found the tools way more flexible. Oh, I've never seen somebody do retopo and ZBrush. You might have to show me how to do that, like that, because I didn't realize you could do manual stuff like that. Can you do a video on how to convert high poly model to low poly model ZBrush to Maya? Yeah, I probably could. I don't think that's too far out of the realm of like my knowledge at this point, so I probably could. Rendering 2 will be interesting on those levels. Yeah, you'll be able to do a little bit with the 5060, which if you're just getting kind of started out, like you shouldn't have too much of a problem. But like I can give you an example, like my grapes, which used 8K textures, those things ate my GPU alive, and I ended up having to do CPU rendering. So I want to look more like VRAM. If you can get 12 to 16, I would recommend it. I run off of 8, and I hate it. There's some banger X3D DDR4 chips. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the or any of the AMD, like the older platforms. Like that's what I still run. I run a 3900X. So, and you can still upgrade it pretty heavily. Yeah, I did that so I could zoom in really close, and it worked. Like I wanted to zoom in super close. I probably could have gotten away with 4K, but you know. $8K fruit is wild. Let's see. Okay, I do have a 3900X. It's a great CPU. So what about the 3060 12 gigs of RAM? That's probably okay. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. You'll lose a little bit of processing power on the GPU side, but at getting the more VRAM, you're just gonna have to find a balance, especially for like price. So like, do you want more VRAM? Do you want more power? If you're looking for like high resolution texturing, you're gonna want more VRAM. The power can make up for itself. You can generally make up for power because you're just gonna increase your render time. But what you can't make up with, especially if you're doing GPU rendering, is lack of VRAM. So if you plug a bunch of textures into a scene and you cap your VRAM out, you're done. That's kind of it. You're gonna have to swap over to system RAM. Which in turn is still going to slow your scene down anymore. So it's always good to find like a good balancing point there. Less comparing to 4,000. Wait, $4,000? Please tell me they're not charging you $4,000 for either of those PCs. Or are you talking like 4060? I just got the 9800X 3D, waiting for the next generation upgrade my 3070 though. Yeah, I know. I keep hanging on to my 3070. I'm like, at some point, I'm just gonna have to suck it up and get a Quadro or something stupid. Did my Instagram live video tank again? Hold on a second. Wouldn't be surprised. No, it's still working. Still working. Cool. 4,000. Okay, yeah, you will take a graph or a performance hit with that, because you're talking about a whole new generation. I think didn't the 4060 come out with a 12 gig variant? 4060 12 gig. Yeah, they did. It's not terribly priced. Oh wait, no, 3060. 56. Oh, the 5060 Ti has a 16 gig. Interesting. Weird. You have a 3070. I'm still running a 3060 Ti, and I upgraded from a 2060. Yeah, so I upgraded my PC at the beginning of COVID, and I went from an RTX. So here's how my PC worked out, because I always kind of kicked it along for as long as I could. I had dual 670s for the longest time, so I was running two GTX 670s in SLI, and I think it was Doom Eternal. I was playing Doom Eternal, and I finally realized, like, I'm probably going to have to upgrade finally. So I bought a 2070 Super. And I ran the 2070 Super for half of lockdown when the 30 series came out, and I nabbed a 3070. I'm for sure AMD next upgrade. Looking way too promising. AMD has just honestly been better, and, like, price-wise, it's incomparable. I have an extra 3070. I wish I could use that one too. I wish you could stack GPUs for this stuff, man. I wish. That'd be it. That'd be awesome. But that feature is generally left to the professional graphics cards, which is like the Quadro series. So we don't get that stuff. But honestly, like, I don't know. I guess I haven't really found a reason to need an SLI chip in a long time. Just haven't really needed it. My 3070 does great. Like, it's been a really good GPU. I wish I hadn't spent as much as I did for it, because it was a pricey boy. But I got it during, like, the great GPU wars, so, like, getting it was almost impossible. Okay. So shape-wise, it's coming together pretty well. Alright. Bring back SLI. I know, I wish. Technically, the 2070 had it. Before the 2060, I was running a GTX 980. Nice, okay, yeah. I never got to the 9 series. I just bumped right up to the 2070 series. Or the 2 series, I guess. I got mine from a scalper because my 2070 failed and I couldn't use it. Aw, damn. What about the 3090 with 24 gigs of RAM? 3090 is still a great card. That would be a good one. It's going to be pretty close to the 4 series, yeah. I mean, you're not going to get like 4090 performance out of it, but it'll be pretty good. If that's something you can go for, I would say go for that. Honestly, how much is a used 3090? Let's see. eBay. RTX 3090. How much are you guys going for? Ew. They're still rough. Yeah, they're still rough. I don't like that. I don't like that. Gave my buddy my $9.50 for an Arby's meal while I got my 1060. Nice. What are your thoughts on this, on the 50 series? So I really wanted to like the 50 series. I really wanted to like the 50 series, but after it came out that basically they were letting all of the hardware, like all of the AI stuff, handle the like heavy loading, which does jack shit for people like us. I was disappointed. So unfortunately, that's probably not going to change, just because like that's the future right now is the AI thing. So either we'll start seeing our software like become capable of using those AI cores a little bit more, or I don't know what to do. Professional graphics cards at that point. But yeah, the whole like what are they? Not the tensor cores, but the neural cores or whatever they call them. That was just kind of crappy. I wasn't a big fan of that. I also don't think I know anyone that has a 50 series card, if I'm being totally honest. My mic is cracking when it peaks? Oh yeah, it is. Look at that. Thank you for letting me know. We'll adjust that a little bit. Let me know if that's better. That should be better. I might be quieter now, but I'll go like 23. Is it like a crackling, like a constant crackling, or is it is it better now that I turned it down a little bit? It's a bit constant. Oh, okay. That would be my revelator then. I'm not going to be able to fix that this stream, but I do have a fix for that. So bear with me on this one. But the next stream, I should have it at least kind of fixed. Basically, the reason that's happening is because my revelator, which sits on my desk and handles like my speakers and everything, that runs all the way to the back of my office to my other machine, which handles my stream. And so that's like a 10-foot USB cable, 15 feet. It's also running through a little KVM switch, so I might be able to eliminate that if I can figure out this other thing. I spent 300 hours on Maya, but now I'm confused that recruiters are asking for Blender. Let me ask you this: whereabouts are you located? Are you like in India? That tends to be where I see most people saying that recruiters are asking for Blender, because that's definitely like region specific. I don't really see that here. I see that a lot more like from people who are like from India or the UK. They seem to have a lot of recruiters that are doing that. Let's see. Merle, hey, it's been a while back. I asked for a job interview tip, and I finally got one as a senior 3D artist, but it's a modeler job. That's cool, though. That's awesome. Congrats on the job. Yes, it's India. Yeah, so that seems to be a pretty common thing for you guys out there. It's not super common here, I can tell you that much. But I have had a couple people tell me that they've been dealing with that, which definitely kind of annoying. But if that's the case, you know, that's where you want to start adapting a little bit and learning a tad bit of Blender, or at least enough to say like, yeah, you could, you know, comfortably use it. Is my delete key not working? That's weird. I'm having all sorts of weird problems today. I don't understand why they would put a 3D artist title, but it's a modeler job. I mean, you're still a 3D artist. Or are you doing like hand modeling? Because modeling is still a 3D artist. Let's see. Getting the job is the biggest flex. Yes, absolutely. If I build a PC, it will be my dream come true, sir. Right now, I'm awaiting to do that thing. I got you. Yeah, no, that's good. I love building PCs. I need to build another one someday. Last job in the States was Blender, so not uncommon, plus when you know one modeling package, you can learn others fairly quickly. Yeah, no, absolutely. I guess it just depends on where you're looking. Most of the places that I've looked at, they've all wanted Maya, or I've seen a couple Cinema 4Ds too. I don't understand why they would put 3D artist in the title for the modeling job. No, it's like an asset modeler. Yeah, I mean, you're still technically a 3D artist at that point. It's just, you know, consider it like a foot in the door kind of thing, probably. It probably totally depends on the company too. But not possible except when I accept big graphics card or other than budget will cross my level. I mean, you know, you gotta find what's gonna work for your budget just as much as what's gonna work for your actual like build. You can get a lot done with like not the best hardware, I promise you. I did plenty of stuff on really crappy hardware for a long time, so like if you need to kind of like buy short for your GPU or something like that, just do it. Like, you can always recoup that later and re-upgrade later. That's what's beautiful about building your own computer, is you can always build again. Huh? No, I'll drink it a little bit. Thank you. Companies around my location. The companies around my location. Oh, okay, I see. Let's see. PC workflow will be different from small screens. Yeah, I mean, having a bunch of screens is good too. Hey, big fan of your work. Thank you so much, Shobi. I appreciate that. What's the average salary for a senior 3D artist in the US? I have no idea. You would have to look on something like Glassdoor to figure that out, because it varies all over the place. Really dependent on like the company, and like there's a whole bunch of like stuff there that it's dependent on. It depends on where you go. AAA looking at 6-digit, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, if you're talking like an indie studio, you'll be probably lower range, but if you go to AAA, you have the ability to get up to like the 3-digit range, 100%. Just depends. It's like any industry, right? Like, you're gonna shop around and you're gonna find things that either pay really well, or you're gonna find companies that just don't pay good at all. It's totally just up to how you shop around. Just less shopping around because there's less jobs available. So I have Maya mostly because it feels faster in Blender and modeling. I agree. I did not enjoy modeling in Blender. I can model in Blender, I just don't enjoy it. Let's turn that off. Let's kind of fill this out a bit. Okay. Okay. Definitely got some work to do there. That actually helped a lot, surprisingly. See you on the next live. The next live will be UV. Oh no, it'll be a long time before I'm on that stage, but I appreciate the excitement for it. That's why you always counter. Yeah, no, for sure. Riot Games pays ridiculously well for their senior positions. That's good. I saw Riot was hiring a couple people, actually. That was a couple weeks ago, though. Also watching over here on Twitch. What's up, Dead Son? How you doing, man? Okay. This guy. I need to. So this actually needs to go through here, but this is where it kind of stops being just that. Let's see. Yeah, waiting for UV and texturing, sir. It will be interesting. Yeah, no, this one hopefully won't be that bad. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We'll see you later, Gotham. Have a good one. Riot posted their environment artist position today for their MMO. Oh, nice. Very cool. If I were an environment artist, I would apply for it, but I am not. I am actually god-awful at environments. Just going to be doing some modeling of some airlocks. Nice, for your stream setup. That's fun. Let's see. Anupam, what are we making? So, it's been a minute since I've showed the concept art, so this is what we're working on. Very early stages of this. It's a cool ship. It, like, transforms into a weird, like, X-Wing type deal. It's like a weird hybrid of a Naboo fighter and an X-Wing. I love it. Going to vent people when they get banned. That's awesome. That's super creative. I love that. That's sus? What? What do you mean? Pull this out. Doesn't need to be perfectly flat yet. But I do kind of, yeah, alright, that'll be fine for now. So let's do this. Is this gonna work if I just do this way? Nope. That was good to hope. Wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm not thinking, is what I'm doing. Let's think about this. I have a better idea. A little concerned that my delete key is going bad. The imposter says, oh, I see. Venting has a couple of different meanings, like venting out an airlock, not venting like getting shot full of holes. No, I think he means venting out an airlock for sure. Knowing his streaming setup, he means venting out an airlock. If you guys don't know Dead Sun does his entire live stream through Unreal Engine. It's incredibly impressive to watch live. You guys should for sure check him out. But he does a lot of cool like 3D stuff. He also plays games. I definitely fell in love with like the whole Unreal Engine thing because like I've never seen somebody do it the way he's been doing it, so that's really cool. Definitely recommend checking him out. Plus, he's a cool dude. Okay. That takes care of that. Now, view. Okay. That's crazy. No, it's super cool. Super duper cool. This is going to look awesome. Yeah. It's going to be cool when it's done. This is always that like period of time though where I'm like tired of like doing just basic fleshing out of model and like wanting to just do more. But you got to start somewhere. It's just all these freaking panel gaps, man. So one of the issues I'm dealing with here is you guys can see how it's kind of curving. It's because I don't have enough support here, so I'm going to add some here in a minute. But for now, I can at least adjust some of this in. Okay. So we're going to tighten that up a bit. That helped a little bit, actually quite a bit, so that's cool. Should be pretty fast. Yeah, that's the dangerous part. Yeah, absolutely. Just checked him out. That's pretty fucking cool. VTuber to the next level. Yeah, it's super cool. Ever since I found him, I've loved his setup, so. Definitely a cool stream to watch. Hi, why are we so bumpy? Oh, right, okay. So let's, this is where it kind of sucks, right? Because like I've got the stuff that needs to support that, and then it runs underneath. So I think what I'm going to end up doing, I'm trying to think of how I want to do that. I could loop it. Let's take a look at this and see how this works. Because that would loop, kind of, right? Yeah, technically. And then that needs to, okay. I'm gonna do the same thing back here. Just looking to kind of get rid of some of this. Use a kite. Should reduce a lot of that. And just got this little bit of a pinch here. Okay. What's up, Crix? How are you? Nothingness. Hello. I'm doing good. How are you? If you ever want to do a collab, I have that new space. If you have a green screen, you can do. Oh, you can be in my 3D space? Yeah. I was gonna say, I can either green screen it or. I don't know. Have you ever had somebody use that NVIDIA broadcast thing that works sometimes? I have that too. Yeah, dude, I think it'd be cool. It'd be cool to do a modeling stream together or something. I just woke up and saw your live stream. Hell yeah. Well, welcome in. Good morning. I do all the cutout on my side. Oh, okay, so you just need it to be green, basically. Yeah, I could make that work. Where is my green screen? It's in a closet somewhere, but I do have one. Okay, so this is too pointy. Oh, I screwed myself. Okay, so let's do this real quick then. I'm gonna leave that there for now. Just to... There we go. Save myself a little bit of a headache. As long as you are not that color. Alright, sweet. So dress fully in green. Yeah, that'd be cool, dude. I'll shoot you a DM. We'll figure something out. I've been looking for people to do like collab streams with, for sure. Because I don't have a lot of people that live stream in this space, so it'd be cool to branch out a little bit. I need to message another person too because they wanted to do a collab stream and both of us got busy. Let's see. When will you be doing portfolio reviews? Okay, so I'm gonna announce it tomorrow, but we're gonna be doing them on Friday. So we'll be doing them on Friday. It'll be a YouTube only stream, so make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. I will open up for a couple of more submissions because we don't have a ton of them in the Discord, but I'll open up for a couple more submissions and then Friday we'll do them. I drew some strict line at an internship. Oh, how'd that go? I was like, as soon as the clock hits 6:30, I'm out. Yeah, no, I mean, you know, especially if you're not getting paid, that makes total sense. After modeling, do you do manual unwrapping or auto, or how do we adjust the layout? I do manual. I use a program called Rhizome. It just makes my life a lot better when it comes to UV unwrapping. But yeah, so I'll pull my model into Rhizome after I've set up all my color ID maps, and then I will UV it, and then I'll pull it in the substance spinner. Okay, so this... What do you guys do? Aside from cause me headaches. Okay. So here's another chance to kind of reduce. This is gonna be a little weird, but I'm gonna try to figure this out so I can not have to deal with so many loops. Need to leave that so it stays symmetrical for now. Okay, so let's take a look at the front of this because I've just dramatically screwed that up. It's paid. They asked me to complete a modeling UVs and texturing at 5 and leave at 6:30, and the day I reached home at 9:30 at night. I see. Yeah, that's rough. That's definitely not right. I wish I had time, or stuff worth streaming for that matter. I think people would love watching your stuff, like live. You do some cool stuff, man. I think people would enjoy it thoroughly. I'd watch. Okay, so I've created this really nasty object here, so we're gonna work on cleaning this up. Can you take me high? Can you take me high? Okay, so let's take a look here. So that's a quad, that's a quad. Technically, these are all quads, which is frustrating. That's not. But it could be. Quad, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Right. Sometimes you just gotta mess around with this until you get the right combination of things. And I think I just did. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Beautiful. Okay. That's better. Sometimes I also think I should be documenting my work and explain some things in simple ways, but I'm just a little bit afraid. Number 3, let's go. What do you mean number 3? Nothingness. Yeah, you know, it was something that I felt the same when I started, because like I had been out of 3D for so long. When I started a year ago, I was just like, who's gonna want to watch me? But you'd be surprised. You'd be real surprised. It's a super cool way. Like, honestly, even if you don't like get a lot of traction on social media, it's a really cool way to just kind of follow your like progress, your history. Like, a lot of people will do that with their portfolio, which is totally cool, and you can do that. But for me, it's really cool being able to go back and just like look at everything I've done. Yeah, and Dead Sun's right. Like, if you're starting from zero, like, it's a really good way to like just go for it and grow. Maybe next year. World's jankiest workflow now live. Hey, your stuff looks good, which is what matters. Especially because, you know, you're doing school for all the other stuff, so. Okay. Yep, that's an gone. So let's just fix this real quick. Bear with me while I consistently rebuild this for no reason. Because, like, if you guys didn't know, like, the way I started my social media, I literally was just uploading 60-second clips of me modeling something. It was the ship. It was the Project 77 ship. So, like, I uploaded 3 clips a day. That's all I did. And now I'm at, like, near 27,000 followers on Instagram, which is beyond nuts. But yeah, no, I mean, people do want to see that stuff. I said they have to leave now. Keep on. Or have all right, Crix, you have a good one. We'll do a stream tomorrow. Get on that horse. I'll work on this creature and zero. You totally should. It's worth doing. Like, if you guys have never done it, it's worth doing. And if you're in my community, you guys are free to advertise it in the self-promo space. It's always good for other people to see people's processes. I love watching people like Jared and MLW, like, because like I don't understand sculpting as well as like they do, so like I watch them to learn. So if you can offer something and like teach people that stuff, it's really cool. I don't really know of anyone else who streams though. I think Jared, MLW, who else streams? Those are the only ones. There's Andrew Hodgson, but he hasn't streamed in a while, to my knowledge. Really need to do that. It's really hard to get the motivation to figure out social media. It's a pain in the ass, but once you get a groove going, it's pretty good. You have, I'm sure, a bountiful amount of knowledge when it comes to Unreal Engine, which, like, if you can figure out a good way to teach that and help people understand, you're talking about golden content, if that's something you want to do. If not, like, your stream has a bunch of funny moments, like, just post those to Instagram. I basically just cross-post everything. I make one clip and it goes on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Threads, and sometimes Blue Sky when I feel like using it. It's worth it. That's better. Still not perfect, but better. This is my least favorite part, is figuring out topology. damn it if it's not looking good. Alright. Just getting a little bit of stretching, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this to the front. Add a supporter loop in the back. Get a little bit sharper there. Nice. Beautiful. Is there an app for that or manually? You can. Yeah, there are cross-posting apps. They cost too much for me to want to like actually pay for them. I just have everything on my phone. I just upload them that way. It takes me, so like when I'm talking about like my quick tip content, it takes me maybe an hour to film it, 10 minutes to make a thumbnail, and then another 10 minutes to upload across 3 platforms depending on the upload speed that day. Yeah. It doesn't really take a ton of time. You just want to, like, especially if you're doing like stream clips, you just want to have a good like repository of them. Because if you don't have a repository of them, then you're kind of like you're scraping for content. You're having to find content. So one of the best things you can do, especially since you stream on Twitch, Deadson, an exclamation clip, which I don't know if you have a clip command, but do a clip command, and then just use those clips. Just don't cross-post them from Twitch, because we have found, and the community has found, that Twitch and YouTube is actually kind of like killing those shorts. So we did a lot of experiments where we took clips from Twitch and sent them to YouTube versus taking it from Twitch, downloading it, and uploading it to YouTube. And the clips did phenomenally better when you uploaded them yourself. So, little insider social media tip. I'm always open to if you have questions about it. I don't hide my secrets because I don't have any secrets. I'm just relentless. Sidebar scales are intense. Doing them by hand. Oh man, you're sculpting each scale by hand? That's rough. Come on, don't do that to me. End up probably having to, I don't know. Did it. 10 minutes to save. I'll increment save. Mentor said that this is the way first. Okay, gotcha. Where did I learn that from? Because like I kind of like took the same concept. I stole it from, I didn't steal it, like I just watched Jared do it, but I stole it from Jared. Because I was watching him do his, what the hell was he sculpting? He was sculpting the turtle creature thing that he's been working on, and he's all, oh no, it was the Allosaurus. And then while he was working on it, he was just like, oh yeah, I hand sculpt these because I hate myself. And I was just like, I should just try that and just like get over that before I actually work with textures and stuff. I find it kind of therapeutic though, so I guess I'm kind of weird in that sense. I enjoyed doing all the little bumps by hand on the Citipati. Can you show how to unwrap complex shapes like you do? Oh, like I did the Rex tooth, and how to achieve that. Yeah, actually, I can show you with the Rex tooth. Give me a second here. So this is rhizome, if you guys don't know what rhizome is. Let me load it in. No, I finished that one, so it's my art. 25 Rex tooth. Let's go at the. Oh, I totally didn't do a actual project folder for this one. Tooth final HP autosave. Which one was it? LP. I think it's this one. No, I didn't use. Oh wait, hold on. Load with UVs. I think it was. Let me see. LP. Nope, that's a material file. God damn it. Load with UVs. No. Oh my god. Tooth, low poly, object. There it is. Okay, yeah. So, the tooth was kind of an interesting one. Excuse the horrible retopo job. I just did it really quickly. I need to get that. Rhizome is beautiful. I love it so much. It literally, like, projects like this take seconds with Rhizome. I'll try Rhizome today. I really want to get UVs accurate. Yeah, so this is how I did the tooth, right? So my biggest rule with UVs is if you can, hide them along seams, and so seam-wise, or hide them along edges. So I try to hide my seams along edges that I know are going to be like distinct sharp edges, which is why I cut the bottom like this. Anything else like this area, this is where you want to start getting into the realm of using things like triplanar blending, because you're going to be able to kind of blend these seams out. Otherwise I'll go in and like manually paint these, but really I'm just trying to get the least amount of distortion possible. And so in Rhizome, you've got your distortion meter kind of at the bottom, and so you can see here, you know, I've got some red distortion there. As long as it's kind of like faded like this, I'm generally okay with it, but I'm just looking for like the flattest possible result with the least amount of seams, and then, you know, I just kind of go for it. But you would think that a project like this would be really complex to unwrap, but it really isn't that difficult. You just have to find places where you can hide your seams, and like, yeah, I probably could have done better with that, but the reality is it's a little bit different now. I think a lot of people get super kind of torn up about the idea of hiding seams when it's not necessarily something that we have to do anymore. If you were still doing like Photoshop materials and stuff like that, like textures, you totally want to hide your seams as best as you can. But nowadays, with the different tools that we have, especially like live painting and substance painter, you don't really have to hide them, because you can just triplanar blend them out. And generally you'll get a really good result, and you might have to do a little bit of hand painting, a little bit of hand tweaking, but otherwise it's good to go. Is it better than Maya's own UV unwrapping that sometimes just doesn't work out properly? So it works under the same unwrapping algorithm. It's still the unwrap 3D algorithm, but they have their own kind of magic that just works so much better. It's also just faster. So like the thing about Rhizome, right? Like if I want to select a seam somewhere, so I can select this seam, and if these edges weren't here, it would go through the model and just select everything instead of me having to figure out where that seam goes. And that was the biggest thing that I didn't like about Maya, is that you had to basically kind of go through and figure out where everything was and then cut it and try that. Rhizome, it's really quick to just do very fast like cutting. So like I can just select, cut, and just kind of work through that and unwrap and basically prototype your UV real quick without having to stress too much about trying to find things. And their unwrapping algorithm just works so much better. What's up, Balaste? How are you doing? Our definitions of low poly appear to be very different. Yes. The reason why this was as dense as it was because I wanted to retain as much of this information as possible, because I didn't want to rely super heavily on the height map. So that's why this one is much higher poly. I think I did better with the Citipati, but I'm still kind of getting better at retopology. There's a reason why I didn't share the wireframe to this one, because I'm not proud of it. Let's see. I'm a lot better today. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. Just explaining some stuff today. I do a lot of projecting textures because sometimes triplanars are gross. On my David Lynch bust, I had to do that marble by hand because the wrinkles got killed by triplanar. Interesting. Huh. I've had mixed results with it for sure. It's worked out pretty well. I think I can show you guys. Let me see. Where's ArtStation? So this guy, right? Let's go my profile. This guy. So his UVs, I think I shared his UVs. Yeah, I did. So you can see, like, I hid one seam under the jawline because this is generally kind of like what you want to do with creatures, characters. It's one of the easiest places to kind of hide seams. But otherwise, like, I put a seam right through the neck just because I knew I would get more texture resolution out of this neck had I done this. And I can't remember why I didn't scale this better, but it's beside the point at this point. This was triplanar, so I used triplanar to blend this away. And it worked really well. Worked pretty well. One thing that I am still struggling with is getting displacement maps to work to my advantage. And I don't know if it's just the way that Maya handles them or what, but definitely have been kind of rough. This one worked out pretty well, though. It worked out decently well. Thanks for explaining how you do layout with all the different elements. So I manually lay them out. I can show you guys here. Let me show you guys one that I'm working on right now. I can't show you the model, but I can show you what I'm working on. Oops, hold on. Where'd it go? There it is. Let me load this one. So you guys can see this part. So one thing that I do a lot of is, that's the one thing about Rhizome that's really cool, is you can organize everything. So when I complete an island, I tag it with a completed tag, and then I hide them because I don't like seeing that. The other thing that Rhizome really allows for, which is cool, is groups. So I can group things really easily. So these are all hand laid out. So I just find that it is better for me to hand lay things out because it allows me to stay a little bit more organized. Yes, it makes my UVs take a lot longer, but for me, I get the best results out of laying mine out by hand. So this is a project you guys will see at some point whenever I finish it. But this is currently what I'm going through. Is it like UDIMs? Yeah, so this will be UDIMs. This project I'm anticipating will use about 6. I'm trying to keep it under 6. No, the groups themselves are a little bit different because they don't necessarily transfer. But what they allow me to do is, like, say I pull it in a substance painter and I'm not getting the detail out of it that I want. I can take that group and move the entire group up to another shell and scale it and do whatever I need to with it. So it just kind of helps with organization. And so it makes kind of prototyping a lot faster. So if I need to make any changes, so if I have like a component that I need a lot of detail out of, but it's not getting a lot of detail, I can just quickly go in and fix that. The groups, what is it, like hard surface? Yeah, this is a hard surface asset. I'll be lurking while I figure out Uno, but I'll be all right. Sounds good, Sarah. Thank you. Got to get the details in the results. All that matters in the end of the day. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so I hand layout. I know it's a waste of time, but well, it's not really a waste of time, but I know there are more efficient ways of doing things. I just choose not to. But yeah, if you guys are ever thinking about using Rhizome, I highly suggest it. If you have a use for it. A lot of people don't have a use for it, so. Plus, they have a perpetual license, so. That was another thing that drew me to their product. I do a lot of hand layout. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, to me it's the best way of doing it. It just works. How does Substance Painter see the UVs when you take it to Maya? So Substance Painter, so basically what I do, like if you guys want a little peek into like how my workflow works. So we'll take this for an example, right? I got these 2 color palettes. These would be my color ID maps that transfer between whatever application. So I'll export this as an FBX file. I'll UV unwrap it. And then I'll take that UV unwrap, which saves directly to that FBX file. I'll pull it into Substance Painter. I'll texture it, because Substance Painter sees the 2 color IDs and it knows the maps and it knows where everything is. and then I'll pull it back into Maya and import the textures with the Substance plugin, and then make the adjustments that I need to make. I really, really am pedantic about layout. Yeah, some people are. I did a video about auto layout, and I had a lot of people get mad at me for it. But I'm like, I don't use it. It just causes more issues than it's worth. Or auto unwrap. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, is when someone's like, oh, you could just auto unwrap it and be done. I'm like, no. No, no. That's not how we do things here. Is it because... Okay, that's why. Okay, well, that's coming together-ish. Holy... Yeah, if you guys ever wondered how long this stuff takes, this is how long it takes. I'm already 9 hours in this project, and there's still so much to do. I haven't even started on the engines and the wings yet. It's kind of the fun of it, though. I'm gonna start dividing the wing now. I think it's time. Let's kind of straighten this out, though. Turn off that symmetry. Do just an edge slide. When you're doing this stuff, it's really important to get your lines right. Because if you go and divide your mesh like this, you're gonna have this like janky line. You don't want that. I'm in rigging for some reason. Detach. Mesh tools. Separate. Okay, cool. So smooth and smooth. Those are still technically together, but now they're not. Okay, cool. I would literally cut every face and manually weld them together, but mostly planar and camera projection are similar. Oh, I got you. Yeah, that's kind of how I used to do it too, for sure. How do you not go crazy? How do you manage 9 hours? Oh, 9 hours is light for me. Let's see here. Give you a better example. This one. This took 127 hours. So, I spend a lot of time on my models. But hi, Shelly, how are you? Oh boy, when ZBrush freezes, I'm scared. Did it lock up entirely? That's not good. It says, recently working on my PC, and boom, clock speed went from 3.5 to 800. Is it possible? Have you faced a similar problem? I have never actually had that issue. That sounds like you might have something wrong. Yeah, I can't say I've ever had that problem. That's on track, yeah. It's just one of those things, like, I spend a lot of time on my models because I want to make sure they're done right. As a white overlay is just processing, so I gotta leave it alone. You have more patience than I do, because I always end up just, like, saying screw it and closing it. But it also, I guess, depends on how much work you've put into it. I will say, though, ZBrush's autosave has been a really good friend to me a couple of times. Okay, so let's make sure this is that's gonna create a triangle. So I need one more loop. Is that right? Wait a minute. lost counting. Let's see. There's a lot of... Oh, I didn't save, and there's a lot... Oh, shit. I talked to people where I built my PC, and they were saying my CPU has crashed and is dying. It's possible, but if it's not, like, continuously running at 800, you're probably okay. It could have just been your system throttling into a energy-efficient mode. I've never seen it throttle that much, but maybe. Hundreds of hours equals fixing problems that were made before adding layers and scale. Yeah, absolutely. Turn off autosave because my files are heavy and the rate of autosave would be like 20 minutes to save. Oh, damn. I always use it. And also, it is almost out of warranty. I mean, if it's not out of warranty, I would totally replace the chip. That is actually something I will always do with technology. Like, if I'm having some weird problem and it's still in warranty, it's getting RMA'd. Because that guarantees that I will be able to at least keep that thing going for another few years. Let's see. No, it's not continuously going for 800 and so laggy. That's good. Yeah, you might want to just RMA your CPU if you can. I still hold a 2223 Pixelogic license, won't be upgrading. You are one of the lucky few. I wish I was. I'm also sad that one of my monitors' power port is going out. And it has a hard time booting up. That sucks. Is it a decent monitor or is it just kind of like an old junky one? I have to yell at Adobe though. Why? I just freed myself from Adobe, man. I'm so happy about it. They say there are millions or CPUs. Maybe one could have... sadly, I think. Oh, what CPU is it? They changed prices? Which software did they change prices on? Ooh, it's one of the Toughs? That sucks. Those are nice. Those are nice displays. I'm still rocking my 2020 MSIs, and they've been good. I've actually switched. Like, my secondary monitor is now my drawing tablet, which I didn't think I would ever do, but I did. I made the switch. Sweet. i7 13. Oh, you've got one of the 13700s. Yes, the series did have issues. I would totally RMA that if you can. See, that's what I just did. I just bought Substance outright because I was tired of paying the $29 a month for it. I killed Adobe I killed Photoshop a long time ago. I switched to Affinity. This is what I use now. And it is the most refreshing change. The thing that I couldn't stand about Photoshop is it just continuously felt like it got worse and worse and worse with every update. But yeah, I just switched to Affinity, and this has been an awesome software. It took me like 35 minutes to figure out everything that I did in Photoshop, and then I was done. Affinity is a Photoshop competitor, but it's $79 and you pay one time and that's it. You get it for life. It's got its quirks, but I really love it. Where did my concept art go? There it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and divide that again. Hold on. They're adding a whole bunch of AI crap now, and none of it works. Adobe it is. Yeah, so Affinity's been cool. They have some AI stuff. They have, what do you call it? They have like the AI background removal stuff. Works really well. Works way better than Photoshop's ever did. I honestly don't know what Adobe is doing to Photoshop, but it became so painful to work on that I couldn't even like. I had trouble moving like images on just layers. I wasn't working in anything, like I was working in 1080p, and like moving an image was like lagging like crazy. And no matter what I did, like even on a new PC build, like it was still just laggy as hell for no reason. And so I got tired of it, and then they raised Substance by like 10 bucks. So I canceled my Adobe subscription and went to Affinity, and I have not looked back since. So seriously, I would take a look at it, Dead Son, if you can. It has been so headache-free, it's not even funny. Oh, that's why. Okay, I'll have to do a little bit of fixing there, but that panel gap is working. Okay, let's see. If they have good curve tools, then I'm sold. Yes, I have I used the curve tools? I haven't played with them, but there's a 30-day free trial, so I'd recommend checking it out. So vector stuff, okay, so vector stuff, they have another application that's a lot better for vector stuff, and it's the Affinity Designer. So take a look at that one too. Yeah, both of those applications, like you can buy them in like a 2-pack for like 120 bucks, and then they're yours forever, or you can buy them separately if you want to. Let's see, that AI, what's Photoshop? Yeah, Photoshop's been adding all sorts of, Adobe's very AI heavy right now, and they just want to be full AI train. Yeah, it's not cool. Okay, so we're gonna do an increment save. Yeah, I will always shill Affinity because they made my life 10 times easier without Adobe. Oop. Leave a piece in there? No. I need to get my license for Marvelous Designer transferred. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the clothing app. I've never used that. I want to use it. I'm working on a project that's probably going to need it, but I've never used it. Do you name each part while modeling? No, that's another thing I do at the end because I'm really bad about keeping up with naming them while I'm working. It's really fast. Yeah, I'd like to try it. It looks super cool. Okay. Definitely getting there. Still looking chunky and blocky, but it's getting there. How are we doing on time? We are basically at time. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna save scene here. Cool. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and call it for the night. But appreciate you all hanging out on a Tuesday. I know I don't usually do Tuesdays. I'm not gonna do them very often, but I do them when I can't do Mondays or I don't feel like doing Mondays. And last night I did not feel like doing a Monday. So yeah, I will be back on Friday. I'm going to announce tomorrow we'll be doing some portfolio reviews on YouTube. So that'll be a YouTube only stream. So if you're watching on Instagram or Twitch, so keep an eye out for those. And yeah, it'll be pretty cool. Let's see, Instagram. You guys are always the first to go because I can't really raid out or do anything on here. So I will see you all later. Alright, so what do we got? Chat. Oh, YouTube too. YouTube, you guys as well. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching. As always, I appreciate it. I will see you on Friday. And then Twitch, hang out. We're going to raid. Let's see what we got. Deadson, if you're going to raid...